working on AACC, American Association of Christian Counseling, ethical code. Well, laws and codes, they can be boring, but why people make laws and codes? Because they need it. They want to protect, both parties, not only counselors, but also the clients. And at the same time, they want to do their job right, and they want to just keep the environment safe. That's why people are making laws and codes. So reading and just digging in the codes, ethical codes, is quite crucial. We have to know it, and clients have to know it. So we want to just protect ourselves. At the same time, we want to just respect our clients. So laws and codes can be boring, as I said, but that is interesting because people just wanted to add one by one or add out one by one, according to the situations and conditions, and especially they have their mind in there, like a legal mind, we can say, or there, for example, APA or AACC, they put their kind of core minds in their laws and codes. So that is quite important and crucial. So just to read and think about it. By doing so, we can know what we really are doing and how we can help people efficiently. So lots of time, ethical standards for all Christian counselors. And then we want to just move on to the next. That's affirming human worth and dignity. Christian counselors recognize and uphold the inherent God-given worth and dignity of every human person, from preborn to those on deathbed. We are basically respecting human beings. Well, we want to respect all living creatures, plants, animals, but as human beings, we want to respect our others' lives and the quality of their lives and their physical health and mental health also. So it's not limited to any age groups or their sexual status, like females, males, and older people or not. The rich and the poor, the higher status, social status people, and at the same time low class. Well, a couple of days ago, I just went up to LA for meeting somebody, and if you want to visit LA, the metro city, you can miss to see homeless people, and they are living in under the bridges, near streets, and there are lots of tents. If they have tents, they are lucky because most of the people are living just with a blanket and a box board. So the box boards are their bed, and filthy blankets are there. Only things for the night. And some violins, they have rains and dews early in the morning. They have to avoid, soaking by water. Well, I just met a person who is working for homeless 5 hours a day for 5 days a week. He just got donations from people, or sometimes they buy themselves for homeless people that like cup ramen, and they boil the water early in the morning and they deliver that to homeless people and and give out some masks and toothpaste, soap, and some other stuff. That is visual. There used to be 50,000 homeless people in LA, but since we got coronavirus for last 4 months, no, 5 months, and more homeless people came over there, cause lots of cities, they keep the homeless people out of the city and they just dump those homeless people in LA. And there are more than I think, I just remember that there are more than 70,000 people in LA. That is miserable, and I was told that they got lots of, people got coronavirus at the same time, and they have mental disorders too. Not all, but some people got mental disorders, and they are vulnerable not only in financial area but physical and mental and spiritual. So we need somebody to help them, but it's a scary thing to do at first, and it's still scary. A psychiatric hospital in Korea, the doctor got killed by a patient because the hospital banned him to smoke, and he got angry, so he killed the doctor. I don't think the patient got hospitalized because when he's sober, but he got mental disorders, and nobody knows what happened for mental disorder people. Anyway, they need lots of help, and Christian counselors respect and respect all people, including those homeless people, as human beings and as God's creatures, as God's people, whether they are believing in God or not. Okay? Human beings are God's creation, and consequently are due all the rights, respect, and ordered logic that this fact of creation entails. Therefore, Christian counselors express appropriate care towards any client, service inquiring person, or anyone encountered in the course of practice or ministry, without regard to race, ethnic, gender, sexual behavior or orientation, socioeconomic status, age, disability, marital status, education, occupation, denomination, belief system, values, or political affiliation. God's love is unconditional, and this level of concern, so must that be of the Christian counselors. So Christian counselors are supposed to respect all human beings, but people are opinionated and people are selfish and people are, got stuck, the, the thoughts and beliefs they have, because we are limited also. We are not God. But as Christians and Christian counselors, we want to respect all people equally. That is hard, but we have to try to be equal in justice to our clients and fair to our clients. So racists, they are Christians. Maybe they are Christians, but they can claim that they are Christians, but that is wrong belief they have. Because God loves all people. God doesn't love only Christians, but loves all people. So we want to just respect and take care of those people with the same mind, because we are believing in God, because we trust God, because we love God, and we know that we got love. We cannot pay that back at all, but because of that, we have to love our neighbors and love our clients too. 1-020 on orientation of beneficence. Christian counselors operate first and foremost from a position of beneficence and endeavor to approach the therapeutic alliance in light of the spiritual admonishment found in the following passages. Colossians chapter 6 verse 2, bear one another's burdens and thereby fulfill the law of Christ. So when somebody have financial problems, we can help the person in some ways. By doing so, we are fulfilling the law of Christ, because the law of Christ is simple: love God and love your neighbor. That's it. I mean, it has lots of meanings, and there are lots of things we need to do and practice. But basically, love God and love your neighbor, those two are summary of the whole laws, and that is what Jesus said. It's not my words. It's not some other people's words, but that's exactly what Jesus said: love God and love your neighbor. Okay? And how we can love others? Love others when somebody got in financial problems, we can help them, and financially we can support the person. We can give some money away to the person, but at the same time we can offer kind of a job for the person, or we can do some other options for that. And second thing, at the same time, when somebody got mental problems, and then we can support those people with our professional skills. That's what we do, Christian counselors. And by doing so, we are sharing. I mean, we bear their burdens. They got lots of burdens in their head and hearts, and so by supporting them and listening to them, and we can suggest some other solutions. By doing so, we can help those people. Second thing is Colossians chapter 6 verse 10. So then, while we have an opportunity, let us do good to all people, and especially to those in the household of faith. We need to be careful. We are not, Christians are not supposed to help and support and do good only to Christians. It is saying that as Christians, we are belong to a church, for example, or denomination whatsoever, and we can support those people first, okay? Lots of people are saying that there are poor families, for example, families, and if they don't love each other and support each other, but the person wants just support other groups, but ignoring their families, that's not love. That's not appropriate. That's not quite right. Okay. I mean, it is good. It is good for others, but the person has to support their families first. Okay? And then support others too. When my child is dying or hungry, why am I supposed to support others, giving away or by sharing my food with those people? That's not quite make sense. It's nonsense. So as Christians, we want to support Christians, and then we can support others too. We can do good for the groups, the Christian groups we belong to, but at the same time we can support other groups too. So there is no limitations. They can be LGBTQs, or they can be Muslims, they can be Buddhists or Hindus. Doesn't matter, because we are called to love others. That's not limited to our own groups. We do good for our groups, but we need to do to other people. And third, Philippians chapter 2, verse 3 to 5, do nothing from selfishness or empty conceit, but with humility of mind regard one another as more important than yourselves. Can we do that? Can we do that? Well, that's pretty hard. You love you most. You love you the most. I think. Some people don't love themselves because they don't like their physical appearance, or they don't like their past, or they don't like their characters they formed themselves, or they don't like their voice, Well, I know my weakness, my physical weakness. I'm losing my hair or whatsoever, but you want to love yourself, which is good. But do you think you can love others than you? Do you think you can love others more than you love yourself? Or at least you love others as much as you love yourself. Well, God and the Bible is saying that you want to love others as much as you love yourself. That's pretty hard. And I think that just a few people are practicing that. Because we are selfish, basically. We are selfish. Okay? We have to try our best to love others, or we're gonna just love ourselves only. That's we are. That's who we are, you know. But the Philippians are saying that don't selfish too much. Okay. Just try to just treat others at least as much as you treat yourselves. Okay? But with humility of mind, regard one another as more important than yourselves. Do not merely look out for your own personal interests, but also for the interest of others. Have this attitude in yourselves, which was also in Christ Jesus. Okay. For example, you want to just make money. You know, making money is natural. We need the money to live. You know. We'll be very uncomfortable if we don't have money. So people are working hard for making money, for the better lives, for more comfortable lives. Okay? They don't want to worry about the food every day or tomorrow. They want to just save money for their future. Because no one knows what will happen in the future. People, you know, are working for money, which is good, which is natural. But what do you think about you making money by harming others? You can do that. Well, but you making money by helping others, not ripping off others, like stealing, by killing, by hindering. Oh, there are many ways you can limit yourself to yourselves. Don't try to do not pursue only your interests. You can make money by helping others. You can make money from your jobs. You can make money from your sweat. Okay? But you have to remember that you can make money by treating others wrong way. Okay? And especially, you don't want to just rip off the vulnerable people, you know, who have mental problems, mental disorders. They are vulnerable, but you want to just thinking about the money in their pockets. But people do that. People do that. Doctors, counselors, politicians, schools, businessmen, sportsmen. They can do that. There is no limitation. All people can do that. But we have to choose. We have to choose to get our interest, but at the same time to respect others' interests too. It looks like a sermon, but it's the code. It's the code. Those are ethical codes in AACC. Okay. ESI, ES1-100, Compassion in Christian Counseling, a call to servanthood. Christian counselors acknowledge that the primary rule of professional ministry or ethical conduct is, first, do no harm to those who are served. Okay? If you don't have enough skill, appropriate skill using usages, you can harm others. Doctor's meds can save people's lives, but at the same time, to kill others if they don't know what they are doing, if they don't have enough skills to do. Lots of patients are killed by medical people because of their mistakes, because of their ignorance, because of their lack of skills. Lots of mental disorder people are more vulnerable because of their crazy counselors. That's not happening. 1-110, no harm or exploitation allowed. Christian counselors proactively avoid every manner of harm, exploitation, and unjust discrimination in all client-congregant relations, and help to ensure the overall safety and well-being of clients. Christian counselors are also aware of their psychosocial and spiritual influence and the inherent power imbalance of helping relationships, power dynamics that can harm others even without harmful intent. Well, why clients, why mentally problem people are coming to counselors? Because they need help, because they don't know what to do, because they need somebody to talk with, because they got something in their gut and in their mind, and it's about to explode. They don't know what to do. They can't control their daily lives, they can't control their emotions, they can have problems, lots of relationship. In communication, they have problems. They don't know how to deliver what they are thinking and feeling to others. They have physical problems because of their mental problems. Lots of people are saying that is stress. That is true. Stress makes lots of problems, and when they have lots of stress, they have mental problems too. There is a parent. There is a parent psychosomatic. Psychosomatic problems. Psycho means our mind. Let's say that's mind. Somatic is body, physical. In ancient philosophy, people used to say soma is sema. Okay, somatic, that's body. Body is sema. So they just look down their bodies, but they just value their thoughts. But your body is carrying your mind, right? Your body is carrying your head. Your body is carrying your mind. I don't know where the mind is at, somewhere. Especially they have kind of a dual, like mind and body. They think mind is higher, body is lower. But that is wrong. Your body is important. When you got hurt on your body, on your finger, and you got lots of stress, when you have a lot of stress, you can't digest well. You're gonna get headache. Your body will get stiff, right? Those are related. Those are closely related. So we have lots of psychosomatic problems. Not only not only physical problem, but we have psychosomatic problems. And when a researcher just try to study what will happen to long-term patients in hospitals, most of them have a certain level of depressions because they are on the bed and they can't live in their houses, but they are living in the hospital. They have to lie down on the bed, on the hospital bed, because they need medical staff's help 24 hours, 7 days a week. So when they got hospitalized 1 or 2 days, it's okay, they can get some, depressions too. But for long-term hospitalized people, patients, they got certain level of depressions. Okay. So, they come to you because they have problems and they need help, so they need somebody to talk with. They come to you. And they want to listen to you, what you are saying to them. And if you say this and that, your words are gonna stay in their minds for a while, or that is pretty powerful influence to your patient, your client. Then, if you know that, do you think you can make a joke, or do you think you can just spit out some words without considering whether those are helpful for your clients or harmful to your clients? So we need to know, and we need some experience to help others, or they're going to be more vulnerable. Okay. 1-1-0-A. Avoidance of client harm, intended or not. Well, we can harm our clients intentionally because you don't like your client, because you had similar problems with the people who are somewhat similar to your clients, and you have bad feelings. Then, do you think you can support your clients fully, right way, fairly, graciously, kindly? If you have intention or not, you can harm people, so you want to avoid that. Christian counselors strictly avoid all behavior or suggestion or practice that harms or reasonably could harm clients, client families, client social systems and representatives, students, trainees, supervisors, employees, colleagues, and third-party payers and authorizers. So you wanna just be careful. If you tell them, wrong way or not inappropriate ways, and then you can harm your clients. So you wanna try your best to avoid that. You have to think about what happened, before you say this and that, and before you just suggest this and that to your clients and other related people. And that's very crucial. So try to strictly avoid. Just avoid. You want to just help people actively, but at the same time, you want to just try to avoid the harms actively. Okay. 1-110-B, managing client conflicts. Christian counselors acknowledge that client conflicts are unavoidable and attempt to resolve all counseling conflicts in the client's best interest. Counselors attempted to respond in harmful ways to clients shall seek out consultative and restorative help. If self-control is not accomplished and client harm is unavoidable. Counselors shall consider making an appropriate referral in the client's best interest. Okay. Well, there can be conflicts. Yeah, that's right. Medical doctors can have conflicts with their patients when the doctors want to, try to medical service too much, more than their patients need, and they can have conflicts. Well, lots of doctors and hospitals are making money by doing so. Some doctors and hospitals and pay doctors especially, they own their doctor's office. They are saying, they want to just make their interest, and they can make conflicts. And counselors can make conflicts with their clients. You want to just help your clients with your best practice, but they can accept those things because of financial problems, because of lack of self-control, and that can be happen. And that's vice versa, the counselors can be very aggressive if they want to just have more money, and the counselors can, it's hard to say, but the counselors can try to their interest only, so they can make the conflicts too. And when any conflicts happens, then you want to work with your clients the right way, or if you have any other staffs, you want to just have the staff resolve the conflict between you and your clients the right way, so that third party in your counseling office can talk with and try to resolve the problem clients. And if you can make anything better, you want to just refer your clients to others. Because once you ruin the relationships, and if there is kind of a misunderstandings and kind of little hates happening, they are usually going bigger and bigger, and you can't handle it. It doesn't have to you, and it doesn't have to your clients. So you better just refer your clients to others. But can you do it? You have to do it. You know the point. Do you know the point? If the conflicts between you and your clients stays there for a long time, you don't know how to handle it. You try to handle it, but you cannot make it. Your clients are stubborn. You can be stubborn too. Then how are you gonna just help the clients you have? You can't do anything. You're gonna just make more problems if you hold your clients longer. So you better refer your clients to others. Okay. 1-110-C, action regarding clients harmed by other helpers. Okay. Christian counselors take appropriate action against the harmful behavior of other counselors and pastors. Well, pastors are there for helping people spiritually, mentally, and physically too. Because pastors want to help people, the church members, the whole people, not only spirit. Can you help people's spirit only? Where is their spirit at? Head, mind, or where? What is helping people's spirit, or people, helping people spiritual? So in Germany, long time ago, the pastors used to work with nurses, because when they cared their church members, they noticed that church members got sick, and pastors have no idea what's going on medically, so they wanted to get kind of professional advice from people. So they wanted to work with nurses, or kind of retired nurses. Church members can work with their pastors, so when they visit patients, their church members in hospitals or at home, they can see and notice, even check their body, so they can call 911, or they can call doctors, or they can send their church members to the hospitals, or they can just help their church members physically also, because psychosomatic, and that's spirit. You got a cancer and you can be healthy in your spirit? I don't think so. That's gonna be vulnerable. You got lots of cut, kind of long cut or whatever, bleeding, and you're gonna be disabled or not. But do you think that your spirit gonna be stronger? Well, that can be happened, but that can be really exceptional. Okay? The same thing, psychosomatic, spiritual. Those are all related. So, church I know. Actually, I served the church when I was in Korea. The senior pastor was interested in helping church members physically also, not only spiritually. The church actually built a social service center for the neighbors, for the community, and he just asked the church to hire a nurse, and so the nurse can work with the pastors, not only to senior pastors. So when other associate pastors visit other church members, they can see something happening, physical problem people and hospitalized people. They can get real medical advice from the nurse. Okay, so we called the nurse minister. Okay, and that is important. But think about this: pastors can harm church members. Medical doctors can harm their patients. Counselors can harm their clients. Then, if you have those kind of clients who got victimized by other pastors and counselors and doctors, and what are you going to do? They will act assertively to challenge or expose those who exploit others, especially those who are most vulnerable and or at risk, and protect the clients against harm wherever it is found, taking care of and support client decision making regarding curative action against the violators. So you want to work against you want to work for your clients at the same time. You want to just protect your clients from other people who harmed your clients. Well, some clients tell a lie. So you want to just discern it carefully. But basically, if you have clients, you want to work for your clients. Do not work for other therapists, counselors, or pastors because you respect them. You respect them, but you have to respect your clients too. Basically, you want to just listen to your clients. If you don't doubt about their stories, you want to just protect your clients with your best. And try to protect try to protect your clients from those people who victim. To harm your clients. That has to be real practice. Do not assume or guess. Do not just say verbally only, but you have to do it. And at the same time, you want to just tell your clients protect themselves from other people who harmed them. And then you can do more things to do. For example, you want to just report those people who harmed your clients. You can call police. You can talk with your clients' lawyers and sue those people. Or they're gonna do it again. they're gonna do it because they don't know it, or they know it but they do intentionally. 1-120, refusal to participate in the harmful actions of clients. Wow. We are getting serious, right? Because there are lots of things are happening in counselings. And, well, if you just think about that, you can handle those things appropriately. If you have some problems for practicing those things, you need to think about it, or you can get more training. So, because counseling is not just sitting and listening to your clients and tell them what they want to do. Okay? It's a professional job. And it needs lots of things to consider. Right? It's not just a storytelling. Christian counselors do not condone, advocate for, or assist the harmful actions of clients, especially those that imperil human life, and agree the protection of human life is always appropriate value in any professional or ministerial intervention. Clients who do or intend harm are not to be abandoned and should continue to be served in these troubles so far as it is humanly possible. When I was in high school, a friend of mine just told me that one of his friends, but I don't know the friend. One of his friends told him early in the morning before the first class starts, and he just told my friend that he's gonna stab his teacher, his room teacher, classroom teacher. Can you believe it? So my friend got left on him, just do it, it's gonna be fun. And he really did. I don't think the person stabbed his teacher with fork. Fortunately, metal fork. That ouch too. It can go deep. You know. You can, I don't know, break veins, blood veins, and even bones. Or the teacher got hospitalized, but he's okay. But anyway, he did. He didn't stab his teacher with a knife. But that's fortunately. But that's sad happens. But my friend told him, do it. It's gonna be fun. But my friend didn't know that he's gonna really stab his teacher. I don't think my friend made the guy to stab his teacher, but it was a kind of encouragement, right? You don't want to get involved in clients' harmful actions. Be careful. If they want to just harm others, your clients are gonna have lots of chances to harm others too. When a person says he wants to kill himself, and there are lots of possibilities the person gonna do that. There is a myth when a person says he's gonna die, he's gonna kill himself, he's not gonna kill himself, but they do. So don't tell your friends or families, just go ahead or whatever. I don't think you can do it, but they're gonna do it. So clients can make a plan to harm others or harm themselves. And counselors have to cautiously ask and just think what they really gonna do. Do you think they're gonna do? Do you have any plan for that? Did you prepare anything for that? How long you have that plan for? Okay. By doing so, what kind of tools or what kind of things you got ready for your planning done, and you're gonna just ask many things about their plans to harm themselves or others or both. So you wanna just make it clear, whether they will really do it or not. If there is any possibilities, they're gonna just practice their plan to harm themselves or others. You don't want to support them, right? I know. We don't want to support those bad activities, to harm themselves or others. But if we don't know it, if we don't misunderstand what's going on, we can encourage them, and then we can involve them in their bad actions. So we need to be careful. Okay? And if they have anything bad in their future plan, you wanna just still support them not to do it. Okay? And you wanna still serve them appropriately so your clients can give up the plan or forget the plan or make a better plan, positive plan than the negative. And you wanna just work like that. And we have to know the skills. Okay? Alright, 1-120-A, application to deadly and threatening behavior. Christian counselors do not condone, advocate for, or assist the suicidal, homicidal, or assaultative, abusive harm done to self or others by clients, including that which is threatened by verbal or other means. An affirmative ethical duty shall be assumed to prudently intervene for the sake of protecting life, and under certain conditions to report deadly threats to the proper authorities and those threatened by clients. If you got threatened by clients, you wanna just warn your clients, and at the same time, you need to think about, whether you wanna just report to your clients to any authoritative organizations, like a police or lawyers. You can talk with your lawyers because you don't want to get victimized by your clients because they are not stable mentally. They have problems and they got they are, under big stresses, and you don't know what they're gonna do, cause so you have kind of a CCTV in your counseling room for protecting yourselves and your clients, and you want to let your clients know that that is CCTV for our securities, both parties. That is important. And you have to know evacuation plan when your clients go crazy. They can go crazy. Well, for example, they can, harm you by if they don't like you, or they can think that you are the betterers. They can get confused. They can get hallucinations, and if they have schizophrenia or whatsoever, then they think you look like their enemies, and they can attack you too. And your clients can make a plan to harm themselves, like killing themselves, and if they get ready for to practice it by preparing ropes, guns, and just check some buildings they want to jump over from. And they buy some harmful weapons to harm their family members and friends and ex-girlfriends, ex-boyfriends, or ex-husbands, or ex-wives, or any, their managers, supervisors, CEOs, they got fired from. Many things can be happening. So then you want to just ask them carefully this and that, and if they have solid plans and they are about to harm others soon, you want to report that. Okay? You want to report that. There are some exceptions in confidentialities. Okay? But confidentiality is crucial. That is very important, but there are some exceptions. So we have to know what exceptions there are and what we have to do under those exceptions. We have to know it, and we need to get some networks to report certain things, and including our lawyers we work with. We need to get ready for it. 1-120-B, application to substance abuse and other addictive behaviors. Substance abuse like alcohol, drugs, gas, bond, gambling, sex, what others? There are many of these substance abuse and behavior abuse too. And other addictive behaviors, those are things. Christian counselors do not condone, advocate for, or assist substance abuse or other behavioral process addictions by clients, like collecting all the trashes in their rooms. Recognizing and accepting the distinction between drug dependence and addiction. Support or assistance. So we have lots of things to learn, right? Additions. Support or assistance to clients may be given for limited periods of time in the use of necessary drugs, even those from which dependencies may occur, when medically justified and under a physician's supervision. So we want to just study about the drugs and medicines and marijuana got legally. People can use legally. Well, we can have sleeping pills, but we are not supposed to eat sleeping pills like 50 sleeping pills at once. Or gas is for cooking, but people are using that for because they got addiction and they inhale the gas like the butane gas, and they put lots of glues in a plastic bag and they just inhale it and they go crazy, and that is very strong and you can get brain damage because of it, but they go high. Or they go low. And there are lots of medicines like monsters, the drinks. If you drink monsters 5 or 6 cans, you go crazy, I think. Too much caffeines and nicotines and many other things. Alcohols. I saw a guy who got alcoholic and his wife is beautiful. His kids are beautiful. He's a rich man. His house is beautiful, but he losing lots of money because of alcoholics. He drinks and he got drunk almost all day, 7 days a week, and he cannot work. He has to buy alcohols. Even though he's drinking cheap alcohols, but still, he doesn't make any money, but use lots of money for drinking, spending whole day, and he drinks in front of his kids. It's terrible. It's terrible. All right. So. When they have drugs, if you have anything suspicious, you wanna just talk with, you wanna contact their doctors too, so they can stop it, or reduce the dosages. Something like that, and those are very important, right? 1-120-CC application to abortion. Christian counselors do not condone or advocate for abortion or the abortion-related activities of clients, especially when the life of the fetus or a mother are not at risk or in jeopardy. Counselors will consider and inform clients of potential adverse consequences, emotional and psychological consequences, including an increased risk of depression, anxiety, and suicidal ideation, as well as alternative means to abortion. Recognizing the client will ultimately be responsible for the decision that is made. As far as it is possible, counselors will continue to serve clients and work compassionately with them throughout pregnancy, whenever abortion is being considered, or whenever emotional and psychological post-abortion consequences may result from a particular decision. So abortion for Christians Christians, abortion is kind of killing, but there are some exceptions. When the mother got in trouble and problems and physically vulnerable, and it can be dangerous for mother's life, and abortion can be accepted, right? Because the babies, the fetus can be dangerous in mother's womb, and the mother needs to abort the baby in the hospital. That is another way of saving a mother's life. And you want to know, you need to build kind of a strong and big and wide networks with the organizations which is taking care of babies, orphanages or adoption agencies, or something like that, so the mothers can give birth to their babies, but they can get support in the meantime. And after that, lots of high schoolers got pregnant, and some women in prison, they got in prison with their pregnancy, and then they can get pregnant. They can be pregnant in the prison in some ways. I don't know, but and then they can be protected. And so when you provide the counseling service to those people, not only mothers but also their fathers, and you can suggest lots of some possible options to them, and they can make decisions for that. Okay, so but Christian counselors don't encourage abortions. We accept the exceptions. Alright, that's for today. So we're going to continue to read and think about the cause, and cause are interesting, right? So there are lots of things we need to consider and get ready for that. So we can just provide the best counseling service to our clients who are vulnerable and in their physically, mentally, spiritually. So just think about to provide the best service Christian way that is interesting, and we're gonna just continue that code.